Runners go. Pitch is high. That is 2 more stolen bases. That's 11. Runner goes, pitch is outside, and Toomey gets second base. And again, a lot of these have been without a throw.
This was one of my biggest fears coming true if I were to have played at the Division I level. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down Duke catcher Matthew Strand in one of his most recent games he played against Boston College where they had 11 stolen bases on him, how that happened, how you can prevent that if you are someone who is wanting to go Division I baseball. So that way, by the end of this video, you can understand as a catcher how to not get exposed on a big stage if you make it to the Division I level or if you're already signed there and you're going to be going there soon. So without further ado, I want to start this video off by saying this guy is an elite catcher. He's at a Power 4 school. He plays there, and he is very, very good at what he does. He is an amazing catcher. He had one shaky game, and honestly, he is 6 for 65 throwing runners out. So he's only throwing out 3% of runners. He's not having a great season throwing runners out, but he is elite at hitting, at receiving, at blocking, and there's a reason why he's still playing even with that stat going on. Very similar to my story. Like I told you guys in a high level JUCO conference, I also had a very, very similar stat where I was 4 for 65 the entire year, and I still played every day. So I'm not saying that you should look at it where it's a free pass. You don't need to focus on throwing. Absolutely not. But I'm saying he's so good at everything else. He knows he's good. This is not a video about me going in on this catcher, calling him bad at all. I just want to simply explain how what happened was my biggest fear and how I don't want that to happen to you if you're a guy already going to showcase his cams, getting in talks with Division I coaches and you're like, oh, awesome. Since they recruited me, I'm going to have the skill sets right away and I don't even have to work on getting better because you might get exposed just like this. So without further ado, I want to start off with a quick story where in high school, I always looked at myself as a Division I catcher and that I should be playing at that level. And then as I went to college, I bounced around to 4 different schools going JUCO, NAI, JUCO, NAI. And at one point when I was at that second JUCO, I had the best season of my life while also not being able to throw. And again, just like this Duke catcher, I had a very, very similar outcome. And the issue was I was having dreams at night picturing myself at a massive D1 and me not being able to throw people out. This was like a nightmare. So it was in my head that much. So for me to see this video of Matthew Strand and actually live what I went through, I actually commend him for being back there dealing with the failures and having 11 stolen bases on him. And he's going to continue to, suit up and continue to play Division I baseball. So he's a better man than I was in that aspect because I was like, you know what? I don't know if I should go to that level because I don't want to be exposed. In all reality, I wish I just worked on what I knew needed to be worked on. So when breaking this down, we see that there is a lot of stolen bases off of the pitcher. So obviously you steal on the catcher, but the pitcher is not quick to the play at all. But you see within, the actual catcher, Matthew, him throwing down, his sequencing is completely off. You could tell he's holding himself back. And if he truly is 2 for 65, then I think he's holding himself back. I think he is maybe battling through an injury, maybe some sort of mental block, maybe all of that. And he's still trying to go out there for his team and play. But the main message I'm trying to get through here is he's able to deal with this, and 11 stolen bases is a lot. And whether it's on him or the pitcher, it doesn't matter. It goes in the stat book against him, which absolutely sucks. So they're just going to look at him of can he throw runners out or not. And yeah, it could potentially affect his draft stock if they don't know about the injury, or even if they do know about it, or whatever that mental block is, and they're like, well, he's not a throwing catcher, then yeah, even going to a big school like that. So I want to say that if you are a high level catcher at high school right now, you're already having success, you have a pretty good pop time, or maybe there's one part of your game that's lacking, signing to a Division I school and getting there is not going to fix that. Absolutely not. There's going to be things in your game that is going to be exposed like this was that you could potentially get clipped for. If your blocking isn't at that standard, especially once you get there and you have a bunch of pass balls, it's going to be like, Division I catcher has 5 pass balls in a game. Like, you don't want to be a headline. You want to be forgotten about as a catcher. You want to be so good that you're just consistent. People forget you're back there and you're getting the job done. Same with receiving. Like, you not stealing strikes. So what I'm saying is, like, going D1 will just put a magnifying glass on who you truly are. So if you struggle, if you're a little slower, it's just going to show that on a bigger stage and expose you even more. So you need to make sure you're focusing on that. So that way you don't get to that school and you're all satisfied and you're like, well, because I'm here, I'll probably start right away. They wanted me. Like, no, just signing there and going through the recruitment process is step one. Actually getting there and playing, that's a whole different story. You're competing against other guys that are way older than you, been in the program, way more talented than you at that moment and experienced, and you think you're just going to walk in with the high school skill set that you use to dominate that level, instead of taking it to a whole new level, being able to compete with those skills and not get exposed. And even this guy, Matthew Strand, is like a starter for Duke and catches a lot and is an absolute dude. He still was probably playing over you even with that throwing because of his experience. So unless all of your skills after you sign there are to their standard of a Power Four Division One school, or even if you're going Division One at any level, mid-major or anything like that, what I'm trying to hit home here is stop being satisfied, or else you're going to have a game that gets exposed like this, or maybe even a season. It's not because of injury, just because you don't have the skill and it's not where you want to be. So one of the main parts of this message I wanted to talk about as well is you going to a D1 or signing there can hurt you more than you think it's getting you on the right step within your goals and dreams, your pro ball goals, all that. Because what it does is it's going to keep you satisfied and not wanting you to pour gas on the fire. Like if you go on a visit to Clemson, you commit to Clemson, and then now you are, a Clemson catcher, and you're in high school. You got all this street cred. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, look at this guy." Like you're not super motivated to take your skills to a whole new level, and that's deep down there's something that really needs fixed. So that's where I am really, really trying to say, like, once you commit D1, the stakes are way higher. You should be working harder than some guy who's just trying to get to college baseball. Way harder, way more focused, way more consistent than just a guy who's down to go like D3 NAIA or something like that. Like you should be grinding so hard so you can actually take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you. All committing there and signing there is an opportunity. So just like this catcher is having his struggles, yeah, whatever. Like he's still an absolute stud. He's still amazing. And he has 11 stolen bases on him, which is not good in one game. Not at all. But he's still way more experienced than you, and he still has earned a starting role at a Power Four program. And he's still continuing to play, even with the throwing stats, because he's that valuable as a player. Some of you guys, even without that throwing stat, wouldn't be as valuable as him. And I know that's a crazy, crazy thing to say. So you do not want to get exposed at that next level, and you don't want to be satisfied with just where you're at right now. It blows my mind. I see too many kids commit to massive D1s and they just kind of coast because they got committed, Obviously the coach sees something in them, so they just need to keep working on that. Like, no, you should take it to a whole new level at that point. How can you maximize your catching abilities? How can you take advantage of every single day with the right plan and the proper mechanics, the proper analysis, the proper structure, video breakdown? Like, how could you do that every day so then you could get to Duke and then play there? Because I'm not just talking to any of you catchers that are just trying to go to college out at any point. I'm talking to the guy who's already going to showcases and camps, pretty good ranking in your state, already the varsity starter, has been for a minute now. And you're like, oh, cool. D1's the next step. Awesome. Like, yeah, committing there would be great. Throw a party. Awesome. But now what? Because the amount of guys that commit there and have to leave right away, even after a fall, because they weren't prepared, they just had the talent. They didn't take their skills to a whole new level. Skills and talent are completely different. That's where you see that they have to transfer out. It didn't work out. They don't get to see that goal or dream come true at that moment. And I don't want that to happen. So I am trying to say, do not get exposed. Do not let the weak parts of your game, if that's one thing, if that's multiple things, don't run from it just because you have D1 interest. Like, oh, I'm good enough. Because that's what I did. I will never forget. I went down to Florida for a tournament, hit a home run in front of a massive, massive Power Four school. And you know, they walked over to the dugout, started talking to my coach a little bit. I was catching really good that game, and I'm like, dude, I'm good. Like, I don't even know if I need to warm up next game. Like, genuinely, it keeps you satisfied. It keeps you so just like not hungry. And then guess who never goes D1? This guy. Have to grind through college just to get to pro ball at 4 different schools. And God willing, I did. So I think we can use this story and use this and realize that this Matthew Strand kid, better man than most of us, handled it better than all of us. My biggest fear that held me back from going D1 is I didn't want to be exposed like that one day. And now I look at this video and I'm like, yeah, now what? He's going to get to play another game and he's, you know, I have faith he's going to figure it out because he's so experienced. He's been there. He's an amazing catcher. He is the fourth lowest in all of D1 in throwing runners out in all of D1. And he's at a top Power 4 school, Duke. I think they went to a super regional last year. So he is that valuable where he is still playing. And I want you to realize that you can take your catching development to a whole new level. That gap from when you are talking to a D1 or even sign there or verbally commit till you actually get there is the most important gap in your life. The most important gap. But you're not looking at it that way. How can I do one session one time a week with whoever's just in my area? Like, what? What are we doing here? The same result is going to happen to you. I'm no fortune teller, but I mean like the fact that you'll get exposed with whatever part of your game isn't there because there's still something. You don't just commit D1 and you're like, you know, the next Bryce Harper all around. Like absolutely not. There's still stuff to work on. The amount of guys who end up starting at a SEC and they talk about their journey and where they were and they're like, yeah, I had to grind for this spot. I had to grind. They recruited me, that got me in the door, and I had to wait, you know, 2, 3 years and get some playing time here. That's truly how it works. Unless you are just the top prospect, D1 prospect, going to the biggest school, and you know, like, yeah, I really am more talented than anyone ever. You probably wouldn't be watching this video. You probably wouldn't even be wanting any sort of help. You'd think you're just good enough. So that's my message based off of this Duke catcher and what he went through. Again, he is a high level catcher. You are not yet, and you can be. And even with you not yet, there's probably going to be a game in college where you do get exposed a little. But it's like, what are you going to do from the time until you get there so you can minimize that? If you want help actually getting real structure for your catching development, data tracking, all that, mechanical breakdowns, working with me one-on-one every single day so you can maximize what time you have before you step on a Division I campus, go ahead and click the link in the bio and we can get on a Zoom call, you, me, and your parents. And I want to talk about exactly how we can maximize this time you have right now. It's a completely free call. I want to go over your video and you know your mechanics to see exactly how we can help you. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video as well. Without further ado, I'm Brock Johnson, striving to be the coach that I wish I had. God bless. Stay the course.